What's up, guys, and welcome back to another edition of Hornets Daily podcast. My name is Tavon, and we are back here to give you guys everything about the Hornets channel and everything about the Charlotte Hornets. For today, we are sponsored here for today by Underdog. We thank Underdog for basically sponsoring our video for today. Make sure you get your picks and make sure you download the app from the QR code that's along there. And we're going to get into that ad break very soon. But as of right now, let's get started with our first topic of today. And that is the injury updates for the Hornets going into Utah for the time being. And it is going to be a big injury update, to say the least. Grant Williams is probable for this game. This will be the first time he is on the active injury report list, or at least showing some active activity, meaning that he was questionable or probable. This will be the first time for that, which means that Grant Williams will more than likely make his debut against the Utah Jazz tomorrow in his for the Hornets 2025-2026 season. So Grant Williams, coming off of right knee surgery, will be more than likely playing tomorrow. Ryan Kalkbrenner is currently probable as well with a left elbow sprain, showing signs that he will come back into the fold as well for that center spot, which means PJ Hall may potentially get assigned back down. But again, we're trying to see. We will probably see by tomorrow whether that move will happen or not. Tijon will be a left ankle sprain. He is also probable as well for this game for the Hornets, and that will be the most cleanest injury report that we're gonna have in a very long while, to say the least. Mason Plumlee is the only person that will be out with injury. The rest will be assignments, such as Liam McNeely, Antonio Reeves, and KJ Simpson. For the injury report for Utah, they have a bunch of injuries going on with them. As of right now, Ace Bailey, I believe third round pick for Utah, with a left hip flexor strain. He is out for this game. Walker Kessler is out with a left shoulder injury. I think he is out for the season, actually, just to be sure. Lauri Markkanen will be out with rest. Georges Niang is out as well with a fourth metatarsal stress fracture. I believe he is out for a limited amount of time. And Yusuf Nurkic is currently questionable as of right now with a sprain to his metatarsals, to his finger. As of right now, he'll be questionable for the game coming up for Hornets or against Charlotte. As far as other news as well, and we're going off the injury updates mostly, but this is also something pertains to general wise. Our announcer, Eric Collins, will not be announcing tomorrow's game against the Hornets versus Utah. He will be on national assignment, calling the Minnesota T-Wolves versus the Cleveland Cavaliers game at 1 p.m. Eastern for Prime Video, or NBA on Prime. And fill of the place will be Sam Farber, who is the radio broadcast host for the Charlotte Hornets. He will be filling in the booth with Del Curry. And meanwhile, for the radio side of things, since Sam Farber will be gone, it will be Rob Lungo, who is the Hornets radio producer in general for the Charlotte Hornets radio games for that time being. He will be on the play-by-play for tomorrow against Utah. So again, everybody, we are going through a lot of changes. Grant Williams coming back. The rotation should be a little iffy, to say the least, from Charles Lee. We got to see how he integrates Grant Williams back into the lineup, but also see how Ryan Kalkbrenner gets settled in the lineup as well, with Musa possibly being the starting center from this standpoint. It is going to be a very tricky situation, to say the least. I can see Tijon spotting up some 3 minutes with Grant Williams playing some 4 coming off the bench. 4 or 5 spots as well. Again, this Hornets team is now fully healthy, so they have a lot of ways to move their forwards around, move their centers around, whether they want to put Tijon at the center, whether they want to put Grant Williams at the center, whether they want to mix it up and put Tijon at the 3. They want to put Grant Williams at the 3 or play some stretch 5. They have options to do so now. And with Musa and Kalkbrenner coming in at the center spots, they have various options to play with. Miles Bridges do not have to play center no more, so that's a good sign, to say the least. But yeah, he is still underneath that 4 spot, can play 3 or 4 now. So it's a lot of different ways that this Charlotte Hornets team and Coach Lee and his staff can move around these players and get them for the starting line. So great news on that front for the Charlotte Hornets. As we move on to our next topic, it is Liam McNeely being sent down to the G League with Grant Williams coming back into the lineup and coming into the thick of things. This means that they need to clear up some younger players coming out of the lineup, coming out of the roster. One being assigned is Liam McNeely, and transferred Antonio Reeves going to Greensboro Swarm. The Hornets begin a 5-game road trip tomorrow against Utah and end up wrapping up in Denver in January 18th. The Swarm play Texas Legends, by the way, tonight and tomorrow. So that means Neely will more than likely serve his time in the Greensboro Swarm, and the same thing will go for Antonio Reeves. I am not too sure about PJ Hall. We'll see how that affects anything and see if that is going to at least keep him on the bay or keep him in bay for that situation. But again, I do not see PJ Hall basically staying on for this time being. And then again, G League situation as it is, I feel as though they're just opening more doors for more people to come back into the lineup and get everything right. Now, obviously, Mason Plumlee is not coming back until February, so maybe they hold on to PJ Hall just a little bit, just to have as a backup center, just in case somebody does go down again. But in the situation of the matter, as of right now, Liam McNeely will be serving some time down at the G League Greensboro Swarm and will be playing some games over there to develop his skills over there. We do appreciate Liam McNeely, especially with his assignment to the G League. I mean, getting called up to the Charlotte Hornets and providing some plus minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes maybe even extended to 21 minutes. I believe he got 21 minutes of play at one point. Big minutes, just to say the least, even though he didn't really impact as much. He was still impactful in terms of defense, in terms of following the scheme and doing what he needed to do. So big ups to Liam McNeely and Antonio Reeves, at least filling in their roles, of doing what they're supposed to do, which is to fill in roles for players that is down with injury and developing as well. So big one for Liam McNeely and the rest of everybody that's coming off from the G League Greensboro Swarm. As we move on to our ad for today, Underdog is here to give you guys a free, and I'm not going to say free, but pretty much give you guys some bonus money in any way, shape, or possible. From fast breaks to buzzer beaters to block parties, we are back, and Underdog is the best to get into action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite player or even team will go higher and lower in stats such as points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to $5,000 of cash for the week. Download the app today, and you can use promo code BasketballFans, which is down below, to score $75 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 and when you play your first $5. That is the bonus code or promo code BasketballFans. Underdog, make your picks, win money, and you will get some good rewards out of it. Underdog, we do appreciate you for the sponsor for today. We're going to move on to our next topic for the discussion. It is the Charlotte Hornets' second in offensive efficiency in the past 10 games. Now, Charlotte has been rolling, and I'm talking about rolling to the sense of them scoring on a very high rate and getting the basketball in certain areas, to say the least. They are low in terms, or not very low in terms of defensive efficiency, but in terms of offensive efficiency, to say the least, the Charlotte Hornets are second in the league in terms of offensive efficiency throughout the past 10 games. This is what it's telling me, is that they're moving the ball around, they're shooting, they're hitting their shots, and they're finding ways to basically get into the offense. Now, I'm currently on my own YouTube channel, I'm basically going over the plays of why they've been so successful in the past couple of games or so, and I will be doing that soon on my YouTube channel. But as far as the Charlotte Hornets go, as far as what I gather from my intel, again, that Zoom offense has been really working, where they pretty much getting the ball to their playmakers such as LaMelo, such as Con Knipple, and they coming off these actions and basically having to make one or two plays, or basically making plays as soon as they receive the handoff and getting into the middle of the floor or getting to a side of the floor and finding open opportunities for their team and for themselves as well. And not only that, I see that the Hornets added a wrinkle. I mean, they always running Zoom and Horns offense, to say the least. But if you guys don't know Horns is pretty much where the big or guard or another big, another guard, however you want to manipulate, it's up to you, is at the 2 low post area, or pretty much high post area, which is around the free throw line. And they pretty much set actions or picks for the ball handler, or to set up something where it'd be a more favorable screen and action for a shooter such as Con Knippel. Usually they use Con Knippel and Brandon Miller off this action and try to get them open opportunities in that process, and also use other things as well, such as flare, such as zoom, to get people open, and also delay action, and even double drags, which they use and exploit against the OKC Thunder, Chicago, and other teams as well. They also used it the other night against Indiana, in which it was working. They just could not get a stop, to say the least. But as I said, this offense has been really good in terms of shooting, in terms of finding baskets, as far as getting the ball into the rim at a very quick rate, getting balls out to the shooters. They have been doing it all, and then also with the offensive rebound intensity that this team has. Miles Bridges sometimes grabs some offensive boards. Moussa Diabate has been a big catalyst in terms of that. And LaMelo Ball scoring has been pretty much getting up there as well. Brandon Miller as well, getting some buckets for this team, and his numbers going up. So everybody's numbers going up on the offensive end. And it goes to show you that this offensive efficiency is real. As long as they continue hitting their shots. Sion James spike numbers as well in 3-point percentage. As long as they are continuously hitting shots on a regular basis and doing what they need to do to pretty much score on the offense and running their actions and sets, it seems as though this Hornets team will remain in that top 10 in offensive efficiency, as long, granted, everyone is healthy. So we'll see from there if everybody, 1, stays healthy, and 2, everybody continues to hit shots. But as of right now, they are second efficiency in the past 10 games. I do not see it changing whatsoever. However, as far as defensive efficiency, right now Denver is currently the worst, but we are fourth worst in defensive efficiency so far, only trailing the Denver Nuggets, who is the worst, New York Knicks, and the Utah Jazz currently. So again, things that we still need to patch up on as far as defensive efficiency, but as far as offense, we are the second best, only trailing to the Boston Celtics. So again, big accomplishment for the Charlotte Hornets. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of the actions that the Hornets been using, but also let me know what you guys think of how efficient you feel of the offense, and can you trust the offense in many other situations. Last and final topic for today is we got to talk about a lot of trade ideas. Now, it was come to attention for today from Shams Charania that pretty much Ja Morant is on the block, and the Memphis Grizzlies will be looking at deals to send Ja Morant to another location in possible terms. So again, this is huge considering that Trae Young was just moved just recently to the Washington Wizards, and news on that potentially as well, he may not play most of the season. So again, with that in mind, and if Trae Young does not play for most of the season, that also means that a certain pick from Washington going from New York will not be going to New York whatsoever from a lottery protected standpoint. That means the Washington Wizards will keep that pick no matter what, due to Trae Young's injury, and if he does stay out that long. Otherwise, from the contrary, Ja Morant now on the block, it kind of sends signals that Memphis will be trying to either retool or rebuild completely with Ja Morant going out of there. And the relationship has soured ever since the new hiring of the head coach, and also just the team's direction, losing out on Desmond Bane, losing out on Dylan Brooks, losing out on a couple of other players as well, even KCP at one point. No, KCP is on the team, my fault. Desmond Bane. From that standpoint, it is a little kind of weird, to say the least, that this team is starting to fall out the graces and will have to rebuild once more to try to get better again. And it begs the question now, do the Memphis Grizzlies, and again, this is from a Hornets post, not from any other post, do the Memphis Grizzlies give up JJ, or not, I'm saying JJ, Jaren Jackson Jr. in exchange for a trade such as Miles Bridges, and a couple other bench players as well, or some non-rookie bench players in the combination of that, so we can get Jaren Jackson Jr. As I said, with the contract that he is on now, I believe it is a pretty much a 3-year or 2-year deal. As of right now, it's a max contract. So again, you're absorbing a lot of money, bringing him into the fold, and with the type of player he is, he fits the mold what Charlotte needs. They definitely need a defensive four that can pretty much rim protect, that can defend outside on the perimeter, can shoot, can score for himself. But the only problem is with Jaren Jackson Jr. is his rebounding. He does not show a lot of effort on the rebounding standpoint, and I'm a little afraid of that, especially if Jaren Jackson does come on to this team, to say the least. And again, trading away Miles Bridges, who is a 20-point scorer, for Jaren Jackson, who's right now, I believe, is a 17 or 16-point scorer as it is. Let me just double check just to make sure. 1 second. But I believe he is a 17-point scorer in a sense of things. Trying to go on NBA.com just to like verify for you guys. My fault. 1 second. And they don't have team stats. Okay, so let's just go by blocks, because he usually leads the league in blocks usually. In terms of that, there we go. Strange that I can't find it. Either which way, Jaren Jackson has it right now. Wait, I think I found something. Jaren Jackson right here. Do apologize, y'all. 18.5 points per game. Pretty much 47 or 48% from the field, 36% from the three-point line. Shooting better than Miles Bridges, 74% from the free throw line. And he's averaging 5 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists, and 1.5 blocks per game has of right now, which is 10th in the league in blocks, has of right now for this Memphis Grizzlies team. Again, if Jaren Jackson would to come on this team among 30 minutes of being played, compared to Miles Bridges, I feel like the drop-off in terms of points will obviously hurt, but also this team will lose that rebounding aspect. Miles Bridges has been averaging close to damn near 6 to 7 rebounds a game, maybe 8 rebounds per game. Jaren Jackson right now with 5.6. I just don't see it basically fitting. But let me know what you guys think about Jaren Jackson potentially coming on to the Charlotte Hornets in exchange for a deal for Miles Bridges and a couple of other non-rookie bench players, or some younger players in the mix of that for Memphis rebuild if they should get away from Ja Morant. And last but not least, we do have another trade that is there that I saw from the Sporting News, posted out by Micah Adams, as far as a 3-team trade that is featuring LaMelo Ball and Zion Williamson with the Golden State Warriors. So now this is the 3-team trade, and this is the proposal from the Warriors. And this is where the article gets a little crazy. Although the new NBA cap restriction in April make it far more difficult to concoct deals that actually work, it is not impossible. The Hornets are paying LaMelo $37.9 million this season, with another 3 years, totaling $131 million throughout the 2028-2029 season. Meanwhile, Zion is making $39.5 million this season, extension eligible in the offseason, despite another 2 years of $87 million on his current deal with the Pelicans. Here's the proposal from what it says. So the Warriors receive LaMelo Ball. Hornets receive Zion Williamson, Will Richard, who has actually been a really solid role player for this Golden State Warrior team. And he plays defense, grows up from that floater system that won a national championship. And the Golden State Warriors 2028 unprotected first-round pick. Pelicans get Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, Brandon Podziemski, and the Golden State Warriors 2026 first-round pick in exchange for the deal. The money works all around, though it is worth mentioning that Kuminga cannot be traded until January 15th. And, of course, we are quibble on draft picks. You can quibble out all the draft picks from that point on. He says this is why the Warriors say yes. Golden State Warriors crumbles whenever Curry is off the floor, which would mean that LaMelo Ball coming in would help this team a lot in terms of offense and coming in for this team and providing bench relief, to say the least, with the 4-man roster. And Curry, Ball, Butler, and Green can give Golden State a fighting chance against most teams in the Western Conference. Now, with the Hornets saying yes, or why the Hornets would say yes, As of right now, the Hornets fans can clamor that it is too soon to break up the Knipple Miller Ball trio, and they might be right. In limited runs, 131 minutes in 16 games, there have been a offensive rating of 126.1 points per game over 100 possessions. From that standpoint, they are also 9.4 in net rating, to say the least. But here comes the but. Ball's contract is massive, particularly for a player that has proven ability to lead a team in any circumstance. With the emergence of Knipple and Miller, it is clear that they need the ball in their hands. The ball undisciplined playing style doesn't exactly lend itself to a developing backcourt to most stars. Though Williamson is certainly not a can't-miss product coming out of Duke, he is a local product coming out from the border of South Carolina, younger and a better positional fit alongside with the rest of the roster. Williamson plus shooting gives Charlotte an identity and a chance to reset. Add on Will Richard, who is a national champion in Florida, and fit in the league culture to instill and look like a rotational guard. In this scenario, also, Hornets receive a 2028 unprotected Golden State first-round pick. At some point, the clock will strike midnight in the Bay, and those future picks will hold immense value. You can also just easily ask for 2030 and perhaps even further. And then for the Pelicans, like he said, Chris Haynes reported on Friday that the New Orleans Pelicans, or today, the New Orleans Pelicans is informing teams that they will not be trading Zion, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Derek Queen, and Jeremiah Fears around the trade deadline, which I'm very skeptical about, to say the least, as well. But in the sense of, if anything, they are the worst team in the Western Conference. Zion is obviously been battling injury after injury after injury almost every time he steps on the floor. I think this is probably one of his most healthiest stretch, but I don't even want to grant that luck because, again, anytime that he does step on the floor and he plays a certain amount of games, there is also an injury that follows up, which is a mid to long-term injury, or at least a short-term injury, which at least sideline him for about a month or a week or so. So again, I don't want to wish luck or wish bad luck on anybody in the NBA, nor Zion Williamson, but again, that injury history is so bad. So in that sense, with a roller coaster season with Williamson, once again, been in and out of the lineup when healthy, he's capable of putting up massive numbers, but questions remain about his overall reliability. If the franchise decided to simply let go of Williams and his $87 million, there remain the best opportunity to gain draft stock, and that also means getting Jonathan Kuminga, who's only 23 and looking for a new start, and a bunch of younger players such as Pomzinski, such as Moses Moody, and that Golden State 2026 first-round pick, in which will help the New Orleans Pelicans, to say the least, because they just traded their first-round pick for Derek Queen in that deal and during draft day. So they get back a first-round pick in exchange for that, even though Derek Queen has been remarkable, to say, as a rookie, and that was the best bet that they could have had for that draft. Even though they traded their first-round pick, they still get a very good player in Derek Queen and developing him into a potential star coming in for this New Orleans Pelicans franchise. But to say the least, if that is the meaning of Zion being gone, you get Moses Moody, you get Pods, and then from that point, you get the 2026 first-round pick, which should be at least a lottery or maybe close to a mid-late first-round pick, which is still solid for a team that is currently without their first-round pick as of right now and is the worst team in the Western Conference. So again, let me know what you guys think about the trade, about LaMelo Ball potentially going to the Golden State Warriors, us getting Zion in exchange of the deal, and also Will Richard and that 2028 first-round pick, which will be valuable if the Golden State Warriors dynasty should fall from the standpoint. Remember, we're in 2026, so that'll be 2 years from now, where Curry will potentially be 40 and Jimmy Butler will potentially be around 37, 38. So just letting you guys know, that is a really good pick. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of overall the show in terms of the injury report, in terms of Liam basically getting sent down to G-League, in terms of our offensive rating in general. Let me know what you guys think, and we do appreciate you guys coming in. We do appreciate our sponsor, Underdog, and make sure you download that QR code and make sure you can play and win some money. And as always, my name is Tavon. We're out of here from the Hornets Daily, and we do appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe. We're out of here. Have a good one.